My name is Christopher Miller. I represent Johannes Mehserle. Johannes Mehserle was arrested last night in the South Lake Tahoe area, where he had taken his family for a few days while the investigation into the events of January 1st, 2009 was proceeding. He was in constant communication with my office and was always prepared to surrender himself if charges were filed. There was no effort whatsoever to avoid arrest. This morning in Minden, Nevada, as some of you know, Mr. Mehserle waived extradition, and he is now on his way to Alameda County. He may be arraigned as early as tomorrow morning, and I expect to be present with him in court. The charge is intentional homicide. As this case moves forward through the justice system and all of the circumstances of that chaotic night become clear, I fully expect Mr. Mehserle will be cleared of the charges against him. In closing, I'll try to answer any questions that you may have without jeopardizing my client's right to a fair trial or trying this case in the media. We will all find the truth in the courtroom in this case.
Mr. Miller, what happened New Year's Day from your client's perspective?
I can't comment on the facts of the case, and that's really a matter that is going to be left for another day.
Are you surprised murder charges were filed?
You know, it's the DA's prerogative to decide what charges are appropriate in this case. We're going to contest those charges vigorously.
Was it a mistake? Was it an accident? Obviously, you know about the videos that are out there. Is the video not tell the whole story?
This case won't be tried by video alone. I can't go into the details of the case or the circumstances. I can only tell you that I'm confident that we'll have an opportunity to bring all of that out.
Why did your client resign from BART?
Again, that's a choice that we made without really discussing that any further. That's a choice that we made that was appropriate to make in the case.
Was your client ever considered a fugitive?
Not by us. Again, he was in constant communication with me and with my office. There was no effort whatsoever to avoid arrest. He took his family up there for a few days to get away from the pressures of what was going on in the Bay Area. And as you're all aware, there were some death threats, significant death threats made against him and against his family. So he had an opportunity to get out of the area and try to ease his mind a little bit.
Could you elaborate on life was at risk during the incident?
I'm sorry.
Did he feel he was in danger? His life was at risk during the incident?
Again, I can't comment on the incident itself. That will all come out as this case goes forward.
Could you elaborate on the death threats? What kind of death threats was he receiving, and did he really fear for his own safety?
You know, I can't elaborate on what those were. I know that they are being investigated.
Emotionally, how is your client doing?
As well as can be expected under the circumstances. He's a fine young man, and I'm privileged to be representing him in this case.
Why no statement earlier?
Earlier today?
No. Earlier, like before. Like
we had issued a press release a little bit earlier, but today seemed to be the appropriate time, and I just got in from Minden not too long ago, so that's why we put this afternoon. But today appeared to be the best day.
Why doesn't he talk to investigators? Will he now?
I can't comment on that. Again, we've made decisions in the case that we think are appropriate, and I can't comment on what we're going to do.
Will you seek a change of venue?
Don't know. I have just received the initial documents in the case. As you're all aware, once an arraignment takes place, of course, we'll receive discovery from the district attorney's office and proceed from there.
Do you know the time of day of the arraignment?
I have not yet heard a time or a place on the arraignment.
While it is the DA's prerogative, do you and your client disagree with the characterization that this was intentional and that this should be a murder charge?
Again, I'm not going to comment on any of the actual facts or circumstances of the case.
Where will he be kept?
I don't know where he will be housed.
Can you talk about how he's doing in terms of, besides the event, there was obviously the event of New Year's Eve. Also, since then, there have been, riots in Oakland. Part of that, it seems, was spurred by his reluctance to talk to investigators.
I will disagree with